All right, have not fans. Now, this is probably one of my irregular videos, if you will, because I try not to do these kind of videos unless I have some kind of like articles or news outlet as a source. But there have been at least a dozen or so people who have commented, via YouTube comments on my videos, on Twitter, and even my DMs on Facebook. And rumor, and again, I want to make a strong emphasis on rumor, that when it comes to the haves and the have-nots, specifically these first 10 episodes of season 6, from the beginning of this season where Veronica and Melissa escaped the car wreck, or Melissa did and Veronica was stuck in there, to when we have Veronica peering into the window of David's new house. Fans have been telling me that Tyler Perry really wasn't in charge of writing those particular episodes, and that's how these, I guess you could say, ghost writers were fired. Because to my knowledge, when it comes to the opening credits of the haves and have-nots, it usually has, the theme song, the dun 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 dun, and then it has like the actors, the cast members' names appearing on screen while the other characters are in the middle of a scene, and it usually says like written, directed, and produced by Tyler Perry. Like, if there were other names under the written category, I didn't notice, or maybe it was at the tail end of the episode where the credits roll on the screen during the preview for the next episode. Now, if this is true, then maybe, just maybe, that's a good thing, because people are saying that, well, yeah, Tyler Perry was busy working on Acrimony, the movie, and he handed over the reins of the haves and the have-nots and possibly other shows as well to these new writers. That way he can focus on the film and they can focus on the show. That way, everything can still keep going. Now, this might explain why the beginning of this season was so lackluster. There was a lack of suspense. There were only like 2 or 3 good cliffhangers that I can even think of. And, a lack of consistency in the characters' personalities. Part of me believes it, but I think it's really because I want it to be true rather than I have sources to back it up. The part of me that wants it to be true is this: if Tyler Perry really was in that situation where he hired those writers for the first chunk of this season, could that explain why the show was put on break after 10 episodes instead of the usual maybe dozen to 12 to 14 episodes? That might explain something, maybe based on things like ratings and feedback from fans. Again, this is just pure speculation here because of rumors and lack of evidence. But I will say this much: if it is true that during the first part of this season, things weren't in Tyler Perry's full grasp, that maybe he took the reins back for the second half or the back half of the season, this could be a good thing, due to the fact that this means the new episodes could indeed live up to the hype of these trailers talking about this is the most can't miss a single episode season. It's not about who will die, it's about how many, and just the actual suspense. Now, part of me, I guess you could say, part of me wants to believe simply because of that reason, because the first half wasn't great. I'll just put it that way. So this could mean the back half of the season could do extremely well compared to what we got. I mean, since the season started off on such a very, very low bar and just a slow speed, based off that trailer with all the action, the sex, everything in between, it looks like we're in for one hell of a ride. If it is, that'll be a great way to close out 2018. I feel like it'll be a great way of reigniting people's interest and faith in the show itself, because, as I said before, after A Lover's Passion aired, people were furious. I'm talking about for weeks. Like, it was just, especially on Tuesday nights when the show wasn't on the air, they would just talk about how god awful that episode was. There was no cliffhanger. I can understand that. So with that being said, if there's anybody out there listening that has, like an article or anything that's credible, whether it be a video or, article itself, feel free to either comment in the comment section below with that information. But in the description for the videos, I always have links to like my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook have and have not pages and groups. Be sure to join in and spread it there, because I want to get to the bottom of this as much as everybody else. If it is true that Tyler Perry did hand the reins over to other writers, that is a breath of fresh air, because it means that, okay, maybe Tyler Perry hasn't, given up full interest in the show, working on other projects, but because he wasn't there in command, that's why the show didn't do so well. But then on the other side of it, it is kind of disappointing for people like me who I say sort of because I don't have professional experience, but would like to do things like that one day, writing for, big time producers and whatnot. Because if people in his own company were unable to write a consistent script for a show that's been on the air for like 4 going on 5 years now, then it doesn't sit well for, him, for people like me who are just diehard fans, but don't have the experience. But I will say this much, not to toot my own horn, because not every theory is like 100% concocted within my brain. Sometimes, fans like you inspire me to, you all give me a concept and then I run with it, like you'll tell me, hey, do a video about these 2 characters, and then I'll sit back, look back through some evidence and what ifs and come up with a video. Some of the theories, and this goes for any franchise for that matter, Pokemon, any comics, or even reality TV, that sometimes the theories concocted by the fans are better than the actual stories that we're given in movies and TV shows. So with that being said, please reach out to me if you have any evidence of this rumor. And as always, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already for more have and have not Tyler Perry and just any other popular topic.